concrete and bloodstains on the surface. Cried for our freedom till the world heard it. Observe it, anarchy emerges. Lambs overcame the lions. Our souls burst their science. Their control burst our violence. Bring your riot gear and bring your sirens. We won't be stopped and we won't be silenced. Globalization and corporate tyrants. Fear our strength, fear our will. Break it, blood will spill, bucket full. We take it all and nothing more. Common cause and common cure for what you did to this world and how you let it die. We hold our fists up high, screaming out, libertad. State of emergency, it's on now. All in, all out. State of emergency, it's on now. All in, all out.
So the next match is the tag team match for the IWGP Tag Team Championship.
Heavyweight
Yes.
Tag Team Championship.
It does not mention the heavyweight part in there.
Well, it's implied.
Yes, I'm just saying. And this consisted of Matt and Nick Jackson of the Young Bucks, who are members of the Bullet Club.
And already champions, by the way.
Yes. And they were facing against Los Ingobernables de Japon.
Say it again! Say it again!
I cannot say this name for the life of me.
Los Ingobernables de Japon.
Yes, Los Ingobernables de Japon.
You know what? You can call them LIJ.
The LIJ. And
which actually sounds like the acronym of that awful video game company that the angry video game nerd is mad at.
LJN.
Which is LJN.
Yeah. Anyway, so this team consisted of two people, Sanada and Evil. Okay, so fun fact. So Sanada and Evil won the tag team titles from a team called Killer Elite Squad. And I am so sad that that team is not included in this show because they are the best heels in the company for all of the best reasons. I cannot even overstate enough how much of a joy gives me to see those two entering the ring and literally showering the audience with spit and water. Anyway, so the Killer Elite Squad were the champions before they lost to Evil and Sanada at Wrestle Kingdom. They were part of Suzuki-gun, by the way. Because of course they are part of Suzuki-gun. They are heel bastards. What's really funny to me is that Evil, whom's gimmick is that he's literally the Prince of Darkness, the embodiment of everything that's evil, and his partner, Sanada, whom is a demon skeleton man, they were the underdog baby faces in that match against the Killer Elite Squad. So they fought a hard-fought fight, and like the good guys they are, they won the match against the evil gaijins. They have been the champions ever since. In the midst of this title reign, Sanada also challenged Okada for the heavyweight title. He lost, of course, but amongst their biggest success as a team, they defended the championship against the team of Okada and Goto. Yeah.
They retained, of course. Okay, so now they are defending the title against the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
Right, so this match was immeasurably good, but then again, you know what the Young Bucks are capable of,
Yeah,
I assume.
I
You don't know what Los Ingobernables can do, but you definitely had the chance to see for yourself.
Evil.
Evil! Yes?
Has the most... I take back what I said about Taichi. Evil has the most extravagant, over-the-top attire in the fact that he has a skull mask, a hood with a cloak, and carries with him a scythe as a prop
to the ring with a green laser coming from his hand.
Yes, he does that. And that scythe looks like a prop from Soul Calibur.
Yeah,
So
that Zashomel would carry.
he looks about ready to join Soul Calibur, actually, with that get-up. I love this. Los Ingobernables de Japon, I've said this before, it's my favorite stable. Unlike other stables in the roster, it's only comprised of 5 members. But each individual member in the stable is memorable and distinguishable in their own unique way. Evil, as I said, is supposed to be literally Satan, and yet he's not the leader of the stable. The leader is Tetsuya Naito, the tranquilo badass that comes down the ring looking like the biggest douche nozzle who ever lived. And it's outstanding. It's like the Grim Reaper in the Castlevania series. He's not the final boss, he's working for Dracula. I love this. I love Japan sometimes.
I really like that as well. I was so surprised when you told me that, to be honest.
Yes.
Because it just seems so weird in that regard. I actually liked this match just because of the small storytelling that went into...
There was a pretty good storytelling involved. It was a pretty big plot point, too.
Yeah.
The Young Bucks had just recently begun their career in the heavyweight division, and they already had a success by capturing the never openweight titles along with the villain Marty Scurll. Now, again, going back to the discourse we already have about alignments in stables, the Young Bucks are not exactly heels, they are mostly anti-heroes. In this match, they were straight up underdog babyfaces. And yet, they teamed up with Marty Scurll, one of the most unambiguously heelish people in wrestling. He is literally named the villain.
Yes.
He also comes down the ring dressed as Plague Knight from Shovel Knight, as of late. You had to see his entrance at Wrestle Kingdom 12. He had stolen Vulture's mechanical wings just to show them off for his entrance. It was amazing. This match was gloriously good.
It was very good. I really liked the... like I said, I've already said already, I really like the story aspect that went into it. And even the announcers made a big deal about it, which basically also made the match much more emotionally investing.
I'm going to say something nice about the commentators, the English commentators. They are very good in... Usually, I'm going to let the Taguchi Japan gaff slide for now. They are usually very good in getting you up to speed with the storylines and the who's who of the promotion, which is good if you're starting to watch any of the given NJPW shows for the first time.
Yeah.
The continuity and the storytelling is tight, but the narrative is usually straightforward and it builds organically over time, usually over long stretches of time, so there is nothing vital that you might miss, unless it's an actual result of a match.
Yeah.
That's good. That's inviting. That's what good. This promotion really vies for, in order to get its worldwide appeal. So this match itself, so Nick Jackson injures himself when trying to kick one of the opponents' head.
It was Sanada at the time.
Yes, he hurts his foot on the steel turnbuckle.
That was so well executed, that one, because Nick Jackson was like rushing up to him. Sanada sees him coming, and at the last second he ducks, and then Nick Jackson's foot hits that post so hard you could hear the ringing.
He basically Mick Foley'd that.
It looked and sounded like it hurt.
It probably did. In addition to the foot injury, we are told that Matt Jackson also notoriously has back problems. It has been aggravated. It has been going on since Wrestle Kingdom at the very least. In fact, there was an entire bit the night after Wrestle Kingdom at New Year's Dash, in which him, Nick, and Omega had basically a comedy match in which everybody was overselling their individual injuries from the previous night, and it was hilarious.
Oh, gosh.
But not now. Now it's serious business.
Yeah, now it's serious because there's titles on the line, and you know...
And Sanada and Evil are not to be underestimated. You know, these heroic, proud, strong, and united in friendship team of Evil and Demon Skeleton Man. That's the first thing that comes to mind when I think of baby faces. It's just... They were technically the heels, but they are not really heels. Every member in the stable is more of an anti-hero in-betweener. They really play around a lot with the concept of alignment in this stable, which is also what makes them appealing. Each and every one of them should have their own anime series or be the final boss in their own anime series at least.
Yeah.
So you know that the Young Bucks have a signature move in which
Yeah.
Matt picks up an opponent in a tombstone pile driver position and Nick has to do a springboard move to try and spike the guy's head on the mat, which might be the most dangerous move in professional wrestling, come to think of it.
Yeah, it definitely is, but it looks so good when it does it right.
They could not do it because Nick's foot injury was too aggravated. They actually try to do it, and Nick does something that I almost never see, which is an intentional botch, because it's part of the story.
Kind of reminds me of that time AJ Styles botched his move, and then he made it into a storyline.
The difference is that this one is on purpose, obviously, because there is psychology, there is a narrative, and therefore there is a dramatic crescendo. There are a lot of false finishes too. Every time I think, okay, this is it. Evil and Sanada have won this match. The Young Bucks have done everything they could. They fought valiantly. It's just not their night. But no, at the last possible moment, either Nick or Matt just come rushing down, breaking a pin, even though they had just been disposed of. The pure power of fighting ghost spirit.
I think I remember screaming, well, cap locking you on this when I said the words, "Where did he come from?"
Yes, there are a lot of funny exchanges between you and I on Discord as you were watching that show.
Yeah. Where did he come from? It looked like it was all over. Nobody was in the area, and suddenly it was like RKO from out of nowhere sort of style, from the corner of the camera.
So this match kept building and building and kept going, it kept building, while also remembering psychology and selling. It was paced to perfection, and then, finally, miraculously against all odds, the Young Bucks snatch victory from the jaws of defeat with a fantastic combination of top rope splashes, and finally the pin for the victory. 1, 2, 3. They are the new IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, as well as the Never Openweight Tag Team Champions. They are just gourding gold for themselves.
Procure! So this match basically took 15 minutes and 3 seconds. Yeah, it was really, really good, this match. There's only one other match that goes on for longer, but we'll get to that one.
Everything is evil! So poor heroic babyface Evil leaves the arena dejected. They fought valiantly. They'll get them next time. Evil! You know, I keep saying this, but the funny thing is that Evil really is a good guy when you get down to it. Which is funny.
Okay, on to the next match, which was 11 minutes, 35 seconds.
Before we do that,
yes,
I think we should talk about Los Ingobernables de Japon briefly.
Alright, yes, of course.
You don't need to look that up. The story is actually pretty simple. So Tetsuya Naito used to be a boring babyface that didn't connect with the audience. Where have I heard that before? So he went to an excursion to CMLL, the oldest promotion in the world, in Mexico, where he joined the original Los Ingobernables stable. Then he came back to Japan and founded the spin-off stable, Los Ingobernables de Japon, with people that he considered to be as cool as him. So, of course, Evil, Sanada, and Bushi, which is not featured in this card. Hiromu Takahashi, which is my boy, as you know, would only join in the tail end of 2016.
So that's that sorted then.
Los Ingobernables de Japon, in a nutshell. Say it?
Yes, Los Ingobernables de Japon.
Now, say it with me. Los...
We don't have time for this. We have 4 more matches to get into.
Go. Bear.
Oh, gosh.
Na. Bliss.
Yes.
De. Ha. Pon. Los Ingobernables de Japon.
Less Ignomarbles de Japan. Okay, let's go on. Let's get on with the next match.
Less Inglomarbles?
Yes, let's just get on to the next match.
Did you just call them less English marbles? Okay, so the English marbles have lost this match.
Yes. Yes, so let's get on to the next match.
What happens next? Give it to me, man.
Okay, so the next match is a 6-man tag team match.
It is usually very weird to have a multiple-man match this late in the card, but it was put into this position for a very good reason, as we'll get to it.
Yeah. Okay, so the first team that were out were Hiroshi Tanahashi, Jushin Thunder Liger, and Rey Mysterio Jr.
This is the Japanese debut, the New Japan debut, to be specific, of Rey Mysterio Jr. Yes, that Rey Mysterio that you know of.
Yes, from both WCW and WWE fame.
ECW also.
Yes, ECW as well.
And Lucha Underground.
Oh yes, of course. And they were facing against Bullet Club members Cody,
the dastardly handsome boy,
Hangman Page, and Marty Scurll.
I am so sad you didn't get to hear Marty Scurll's music, because it's outstanding.
Oh well, I have to settle for the American Nightmare Cody's theme.
The American Nightmare Cody. American
I have to
Nightmare. He's just a dandy man. It's not that.
It's very weird seeing Cody being the opposite of his father.
Dustin Rhodes once tried to be the American Nightmare, the opposite of his father. That didn't work out for him. But it's definitely working out for Cody. Cody is one of the most prominent figures in pro wrestling at the moment, and his ongoing feud with Omega for control of the Bullet Club really put him on the map, especially as a heel. In fact, I'm going to say this to you.
Yeah.
So over the past few months, Kenny Omega reunited himself with his long-lost lover, Kota Ibushi, and they formed the tag team, reformed I should say, the tag team of the Golden Lovers. That is literally the name of their team. Are they actually engaged romantically? I don't know, but they are named Lovers, and Kenny Omega refers to him as his lover. So I'll leave that to your interpretation, but they are absolutely beloved by the audience. The crowd loves them, and they really, really hate Cody because all this time he tried to break them up. He tried to get in the way of their happiness. other than just trying to control the entirety of Bullet Club. And during this entire time, every member was torn between mom and dad as they were fighting. But something really outstanding and rare in wrestling happened last month.
Yeah.
All the members of Bullet Club, yes, even Marty Scurll, prompt by the Young Bucks, decided, enough with this. We're going to be staying united as a family, no matter what. So they stood in the middle of the ring and they all did their copyright infringing hand gesture and reunited once again, effectively putting an end to that scission from earlier. The feud is merely between Cody and Omega, not between various members of the Bullet Club. No more a family torn.
Yeah.
In the name of love and friendship. So you never see this happening in wrestling, at least the wrestling you're used to. You're not used to see storylines in which a stable threatening to split up, then ends up becoming stronger than before instead of actually splitting up. You don't see tag teams coming back together and still having the two individual members pursuing a singles career successfully in spite of being a tag team again. You don't see that ever happening in WWE.
No,
in New Japan, and in every promotion in which this feud was ongoing, which includes Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
This was one of the most captivating wrestling feuds of the year.
Right.
Which really gave a lot of momentum to Cody as a heel. And you will soon see of what I'm talking about. By the way, interesting detail. Cody enters the scene wearing a t-shirt that says Bullet Queen?
What? Okay, I forgot about reading about that shirt, to be honest.
I said before he was the mom of the group, but I didn't mean it literally.
So now just kind of retextualize the whole thing as Cody is jealous of Kota Ibushi and Omega's love and just wants Omega to come back to him.
I'm going to give you a one-up to that.
Yeah.
This whole feud between Ibushi, Omega, and Cody.
Yeah.
It's Final Fantasy VIII.
Oh, no.
Omega is Squall. Cody is, what's-his-face, blonde guy.
Oh, you mean, Cypher. That's the guy.
Cypher, yes. And Ibushi is the woman.
Ibushi is Renoa.
Yes! Well, he looks really handsome, I have to say.
Well, yeah, he looks really nice.
Look, if I were gay or a woman, I would be all over that man cake. My gosh.
That's my word, man cake.
I can totally buy that Kenny Omega would sacrifice everything to be together with his... in order to be together with his one and only lover, Kota Ibushi. And I can see how the Young Bucks are truly torn apart emotionally to see their boy, Kenny Omega, leaving them for Kota Ibushi.
By the way, this match, it was okay for what it is. I can't really say anything.
So the goal of this match was to showcase Rey Mysterio's skills to the new audiences of Japan. And in that sense, it accomplished its goal. By the way, let's talk about Hiroshi Tanahashi. Go Ace! Speaking of man cakes, Hiroshi Tanahashi, 41, maybe 42 years old. You wouldn't be able to tell because he is in a fantastic shape. Look at him.
Yes, I am looking at him right now.
Look at his specs. Look at his physique, his hair, his fake guitar skills. Don't you just want to frame that picture in your room? Women are crazy for this guy. They bring him towels with his face on it.
Oh, wow.
Hiroshi Tanahashi, for lack of a better comparison, is the John Cena of this promotion, except he is actually largely beloved. I am making the comparison because he is one of the most decorated champions and one of the all-time greats of the company. He's a 7 times IWGP Heavyweight Champion. He held the previous record of consecutive title defenses at 11, which was surpassed, as you know, by Okada. So Hiroshi Tanahashi is really good, and what's really good about him is that he is possibly the most genuine good guy in the promotion. Come to think of it, Taguchi Japan, which I am glad it is something that exists now, is the only stable that's comprised of unambiguous good guys.
Yeah.
And it makes sense, they are following the lead of Tanahashi, which is the most unambiguously good guy, babyface in the company. He is passionate enough to make it seem genuine. Also, hair guitar. No, that's always cool, apparently.
That's cool with the kids, yo.
Cool with the kids. Yo, I'm 42 years young.
I'm 42 years young, and all your moms want me.
Girls of any ages. Really? Oh, okay,
But
so...
Except he absorbed all the handsomeness of all his other bandmates. So yeah, Cody Rhodes beat one of them in this match in order to get the win.
Cody defeats Jushin Thunder Liger.
Yeah, he pinned that guy.
Which baffled me. Why didn't the good guys win this match? This is the debut
Yeah, of Rey Mysterio.
of Rey Mysterio, and his team loses.
Yeah.
Furthermore, the guy that gets pinned is the man that Rey Mysterio will face at some point. So you would think they want to make Jushin Thunder Liger and Rey Mysterio look strong by winning this match. Instead, the bad guys win. Which, again, at the time confused me. But then I learned that Cody is next in line for an IWGP Heavyweight title defense match.
Yeah,
So that makes sense.
it does make sense in that regard.
So this was a simple exhibition match, showing up what Mysterio does. He does his usual moves.
He 619 two people at once.
Yes, Marty Skrull is, as always, a joy to watch. He's goading Liger, come on and fight me! And then Liger comes in and he immediately just rushes out of the ring and tags Hangman Page, who wants to face Tanahashi, so Liger tags Tanahashi.
Yeah.
Anyway, on to the next match.
Yes.
Let's try to move on quickly. My gosh, this is taking forever.
Yeah, I know, right? The second longest match in the card. It was for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, held by Will Ospreay, and he was facing up against your boy, Hiromu Takahashi.
Winner of this year's Best of the Super Junior Cup. He defeated Bone Soldier Taiji. And no, I can't believe it either. He is not a member of Los Ingobernables de Japon. He's a member of Bullet Club. I mean, with his skeleton man get-up, you would think he would be Sanada's little brother, but no. Anyway, Hiromu Takahashi, actual Los Ingobernables member, by the way, defeated Taiji in the finals.
Yeah.
And when he won the cup, he was so happy and overwhelmed. He hugged it so hard that he accidentally broke the wing on the side of it. And then he proceeded to apologize profusely to it.
I love Takahashi, actually.
Takahashi might be the most interesting personality in that group. And that's saying something because we have evil in it.
He's just a crazy, crazy person.
He is more of an eccentric artist that weirds people up, but he actually loves everybody in his own unique way. But then he gets in that ring, and let's just say there is a reason why he is named Time Bomb.
By the way, for those not in the know, Will Ospreay is a very well known for his, let's say, spectacles.
Flippy style?
flippy spectacles.
Yes, you know what? There was an argument to be made about Will Ospreay all the way back in 2016 that it was all style and no substance because he didn't used to sell very much. He was more preoccupied with delivering fast-paced highlight reel matches more than anything else. But let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about Will Ospreay. He has learned psychology. And now he's an excellent wrestler. And his matches are really good. Although I have to say, I'm always worried when I see him wrestle because he tries to actively kill himself. I guess it's one way of putting it.
He makes Jeff Hardy look tame in comparison.
Jeff Hardy is the easy difficulty.
Will Ospreay, he goes for the insane.
Hiromu Takahashi also is known for ridiculous and dangerous spots, but that's actually part of his gimmick. So when you have these two combined together, you have a recipe for a disaster that's actually a really good disaster.
This was actually a really great match. Compared to the last time I saw Will Ospreay in a wrestling match, he's definitely improved over the years. And I actually still like his way of movement in the ring. Fast.
Furious.
Yes, fast and furious.
They both wrestle fast and furious. So this match, as you pointed, was great. As soon as the bell rings, they go at each other and they end up outside the ring, and Will Ospreay tries to kill himself by doing a ridiculous dive from the top ramp towards Hiromu, and he almost breaks his neck again, and it's been barely a minute, guys. It's been barely a minute.
That's in the first minute. I mean, thankfully it slows down just a tiny bit, but, you know, not enough to get you out of the match.
Also, I really enjoy Will Ospreay selling.
Yeah.
He yells at the top of his lung, "Ah! Ah! Ooh!
When he
Eat shit, motherfucker!"
No, he said to Takahashi, "You fucking cunt," before he got slapped in the chest. And went,
okay.
Ah!
I think I should point this out. NJPW is mainly for all ages.
Yes.
However, when it comes to the Gaijin wrestlers, they are allowed to say whatever they want in their own native language. And they do. Let's just leave it at that.
It's really amusing.
It's different.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, great match overall. It lasted for 20 minutes. It didn't feel like 20 minutes, actually, with how fast it was going.
It was going fast and furious. Moves after moves, what a maneuver! And there was a ridiculously fast sequence at some point in which they counteracted each other so many times in the span of 3 seconds. It's almost too fast for the human eye. I was watching a Dragon Ball Z tournament match.
But at the end of all this, Hiromu Takahashi was the winner of this match and is the new junior heavyweight champion.
Yes!
And
my boy!
And to be honest, it's a well-deserved win with how that played out.
Yes, my boy. He won the Super Juniors Cup. He won the title a few days after the event. This is going to be his year. He's on his way to become the most popular member of Los Ingobernables. He was most certainly the most popular member tonight when it comes to that particular stable, which is different. This guy is well-liked and beloved by everyone. He looks so adorable. Just look at him.
Yeah, no, he's kind of cute.
A bit crazy, but not in an offensive way. More like in a, I love everybody in my own special way. Bell rings. I'm going to kill you and I'm going to have fun doing it. I think he enjoys life to the fullest. He also makes cat plushies.
You wouldn't expect that.
Okay, there was a whole bit with him last year in which he came down the ring with a big cat plushie, which started to sell like hotcakes, by the way. Bad Luck Fale destroyed one during the G1 climax. Boo!
So the next match is...
Oh, yes. So this one was quite something.
This match is for the IWGP Intercontinental Championship with Tetsuya Naito defending it against Y2J Chris Jericho.
You mean Chris Swearico, right?
Yes. Okay, Jericho. He comes down to the ring looking like he's from A Clockwork Orange and Kefka in one.
More leaning towards Alex from A Clockwork Orange. You know, it's an appropriate comparison given that Chris Jericho was a complete madman in this match.
It was. Tetsuya Naito comes out after Jericho does.
By the way, should we describe the really elegant outfit by Tetsuya Naito, leader of Los Ingobernables, by the way?
Very nice white number.
Okay, so usually, for less important events, he comes down with his casual dress wear, which includes a cap hat that looks entirely too small for his head due to that gigantic wad of orange hair he has. So he comes down the ring, basically dragging the belt, dragging the IC title belt, as he's usually wont to do. You would think, why even bother winning titles if you don't care about them? And he used to actually throw them into the ring. He would actually wound them up, throw them in the air, and they would land in the ring. Yes, I swear, he did that.
I believe you.
So he comes down the ring dressed in white with that indescribable mask. He looks like the final boss of a Shonen Jump series. He looks like a character from Bleach, I guess.
The design sensibilities of one, I guess.
Yes, very fashionable design for a final boss, I have to say. Okay, there is a weird moment where the camera cuts away from him and then cuts back, and suddenly the belt is gone. What is this witchcraft? And then it turns out he just left it at the beginning of the ramp.
Yeah, that
was weird. But anyway, usually, in any of the Tetsuya Naito's matches, he's used to be calm and tranquil. He comes down the ring, he slowly undresses, plays mind games with his opponents just to get them enraged so that he can take advantage of them. Unfortunately for him, Chris Jericho came down Japan with the mentality of a 90s hardcore match. So he attacks Naito from behind, he massacres him, he slaughters him, cuts him down his eye, breaks him on a Japanese table, which are notoriously hard. And then the match starts.
How long did that beatdown last for? It lasted for ages.
At least a good 3, 4, 5 minutes, I guess. It was the most one-sided beatdown I've seen in a long time. Chris Jericho in Japan is the best version of Chris Jericho I've ever seen. Forget the list. Forget it. This is the alpha, Chris Jericho. He's just a vicious bastard.
I just love this. He's just a vicious maniac on Naito.
Naito, in order to survive, he had to go down his level and become a vicious maniac himself. So he ends up pile-driving Chris Jericho on the announcer's table, eventually.
Jericho, I just loved how he was acting like an absolute madman when he was shouting, Naito!
Kaneda!
And then, seriously, he kept on saying, Naito! Naito!
That part, he was actually goading the audience to cheer for Naito. I am used to see and hear the audience in Japan being completely behind Naito.
Yeah.
They like his character, they like his wrestling, his attitude. His character is top-notch.
Yeah.
In this case, the crowd was equally divided between him and Jericho, so there were booing and there were cheering for both guys.
Which was very interesting for a situation.
It's very WWE.
I also love that one bit where Jericho has the walls of Jericho on Naito. It's there for ages. It adds to the drama. Naito's not doing anything for ages. Is he tapping?
Ask him! Ask him! That's something that he always does.
Yeah,
I like how he's about to start something with the referee every once in a while.
After the drama of Naito not doing anything for ages, he finally grabs the rope and the ref gets him off, gets Jericho off, and it's like, he tapped! And the ref's going, no, he tapped! No, he tapped! Jericho's trying to convince himself and
Okay,
the
so
referee
this
and
is...
everyone in the building that he tapped!
Okay, you know what? You're making me reappreciate this match a little bit more, because I wasn't as impressed with it the first time I watched it. Mostly because it had to follow my boy, Hiromu Takahashi's win.
But still, it just brought its own sheer madness to the table that was
Okay,
enjoyable.
so the most egregious, however, botch was in the finish of the match. It was supposed to look like as if Jericho managed to districate himself from Destino, which is the finisher of Tetsuya Naito.
Yeah.
What it actually happened was Tetsuya Naito districating Jericho from the move, so basically it looked like he let Jericho go at that moment so that he could do the finish. That was extremely noticeable and unfortunate because, again, it's the finish.
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of finishes, Chris Jericho wins the Intercontinental Championship!
It was the best version of the Brock Lesnar swerve.
Taking advantage of a referee distraction, he low blows Naito, and then he hits the Cold Breaker. And he wins the title, so he now is a 10 times Intercontinental Champion. Suck on that, Vince.
Yeah. Oh boy. This match lasted for 17 minutes. It
felt longer.
It felt longer, and I loved every second of it.
It was good. Okay, it felt more like a 90s Attitude Era match, more than a New Japan wrestling match.
Yeah.
Which I guess helped it stood out from the rest.
Yeah.
But I didn't quite like it as much as the bout from earlier. And again, the finish has to do with that.
Yeah. Interesting repercussions we'll have to see from this one.
I mean, think about this.
Yeah.
The second most important title in the Federation is in the hands of Chris Jericho. He is not a full-timer in this company.
Yeah.
There are clearly long-term plans for him and whatever Naito is doing.
Yeah.
But think about what happened up until this point. Almost every belt in this company, almost every championship is currently in the hands of gaijin wrestlers.
Yeah.
With the exception of Takahashi winning the title from Ospreay and the junior heavyweight tag champions, every other title is currently owned by gaijins.
Yeah, very curious.
That says a lot about the direction that the company is taking towards its worldwide expansion.
Yeah. Anyway,
it feels like this is the beginning of a new era.
It certainly does.
It has been a pretty alternating year for Naito so far, filled with ups and downs.
Yeah.
He was in the main event of Wrestle Kingdom 12, he lost to Okada.
Yeah.
Then he won the IC title from Minoru Suzuki,
Yeah.
barely a month ago in fact, and he lost it immediately to Chris Jericho. That's an interesting turn of events. Oh, and by the way, post-match shenanigans, Jericho is not done punishing Naito, he just starts whipping him with his belt.
Oh yeah, like...
Oh no, poor Naito, who will ever come to his rescue? Notorious good guy Evil comes to the rescue! Leave my best friend alone!
That was so funny to me.
Just evil! Okay.
The embodiment of darkness.
More like the embodiment of friendship. That's it! He's evil is just misunderstood. Everything is misunderstood. Misunderstood doesn't quite have the same ring as evil.
No, it does not.
I'm all for seeing a feud between Evil and Jericho. In
Yeah.
fact, I'd like to see Jericho feud with each member of Los Ingobernables de Japon individually.
Yeah,
That should be interesting to see.
that would be interesting, yeah.
Because the way NJPW works, Naito will not get a rematch for the title anytime soon.
Especially those cuts.
Yes, so there is a storyline going forward and there is a plan in place for Jericho, the belt, and whatever Naito is doing. We'll see about that.
Yeah.
This was an interesting result, a good match. Not as good as others in the card, mostly because I go to Japan to escape from WWE style.
I still liked it personally.
I mean, it was a good WWE style match. No questions about it.
Yeah. Okay, I think we should get on to the final.
This is it, the main event. One of the most anticipated grudge matches ever. The culmination of a feud that's basically 2 years in the making. Speaking of long-term storylines, this all begins when Kenny Omega won the G1 Climax in 2016 and earned a main event spot at Wrestle Kingdom 11.
Yeah.
He then had that Dave Meltzer-breaking match in the main event, 6-star classic with Okada, which he lost clean. But then, somewhere along the months, Okada said that he wanted to prove that he is the best wrestler in the world.
Yeah.
So he challenged Omega to a rematch, and not the other way around. Because you see, as I pointed out many times before, once you lose your match for the title, you are done. Unless something happens, unless you win a tournament that allows you to go back in the main event scene, you are done. It's time for someone else to get there, which is something that I like.
Yeah.
But Okada is a different thoroughbred of champions. Because you see, his entire deal is that he is the best in the world, and he wants to constantly prove that he is the best in the world to himself and to everyone else. He's been obsessed with having the longest title reign imaginable. He's been obsessed with beating the streak set by Tanahashi. He has accomplished everything he could with the title belt in the main event scene. He's basically the greatest champion in the Federation's history. For crying out loud, he literally makes it rain when he enters the ring. Bills with his face on it. They call him the Rainmaker. And that's also the name of his finisher. Which is a clothesline, the most devastating clothesline in the business. And that's Okada in a nutshell. The golden boy, the moneymaker, the rainmaker, the best in the world, and the guy who said, I am not finished with this opponent, so I'm going to challenge them again for my title that I have, just because I want to beat them more. So, the Dominion show of last year, with the amazing 60 minutes long draw between Okada and Omega, it ended in an actual draw after 60 minutes of epicness. And that was the end of it at the time. They had another match during the G1 Climax in which Omega finally managed to pin Okada.
Yeah.
And then, almost 1 year after that, we have Dominion of this year. The main event. The grudge match. No time limit. Best 2 out of 3 falls. Which is the most gimmicky match that this company has ever had.
Yeah.
They never do gimmicks, and it shows.
Okay.
This match.
This
my
match.
god. You see Iron Man matches in WWE, they always have those dead moments in order for the wrestlers to catch their breath. But these two people, Okada and Omega, seemingly are cardio bosses.
They're wrestling machines, these two.
Yes, they wrestled this match that was so long at a consistent pace with its own sets of dramatic crescendos and releases. There is always something happening, something being told, and the end result is probably one of the most dramatically and emotionally involving stories ever told, wrestling or otherwise.
Yeah.
It was so good. You know what else was good?
What?
Omega's entrance. With that filmed bit reference to Infinity War.
Yeah.
With Ibushi being Thanos' daughter and Omega being Thanos. And it served also as a recap for everything that Omega had to sacrifice in order to get here. His friends, his Bullet Club family, his losses, everything. He's had a full-on character arc that lasted for 2 years. He started off as a heel, he slowly began to transition to a role of a in-between anti-hero, and now he's coming into this match as a fully fledged babyface, ready to grasp his much-deserved and earned destiny. And judging by the way he fights, you would think that he would die if he didn't win tonight.
Yeah.
That's how he always wrestles, by the way. He has that passion, energy, that fire that makes him the most easy wrestler to cheer, honestly.
Well, it has a lot of effort put into it, that's for
Yes.
sure.
Conversely, you have Okada, which is the mountain to climb. The guy that nobody has been able to beat for 2 years.
It feels like he's got God mod on for those 2 years.
Yes, he's had God mode, but, you know, everyone else he's faced has always managed to take him to his limit. But all the time, he's always been able to have that much more to get the job done.
Yeah.
Nobody managed to out-wrestle him in that regard. So, what's great about this match and the story it's told is that this is a clash of titans. And it literally comes down to whomever has any energy whatsoever left in the tank after that outstanding trial. And whomever does is the winner.
I really liked that, how every moment a finisher was about to be pulled off, they would both counter it so many times.
It's outstanding work in that sense. Okada has this ability to instantly turn a certain death situation into a surprise finisher moment.
Yeah.
He always does that, and it always causes him to win. It seems like he's about to lose, but then surprise tombstone out of nowhere, and then, aha! Here's my clothesline, the Rainmaker, and then there is the victory. This wasn't exactly the case, though.
No, it was not.
This was so well paced and well booked all throughout it. It was hard at any point in time to predict who would win.
It certainly was. Very nail-biting.
So Okada gets the first pinfall by trapping Omega in a surprise cradle, which must have been devastating for the guy's psychology.
Yeah.
So after that, we have a 2 minutes break. I like, by the way, that they have a break in between rounds, like in box, so that they can regroup and take their breath back.
Well, it makes sense in that regard.
Yes, I like it. It also allows for both them and the audience to settle in, to truly digest what has happened before the action starts and there is new suspense and new dramatic crescendo being built towards a climax.
Yeah.
Honestly, this might be the best wrestling match I've ever seen in my life. And honestly, their match at Wrestle Kingdom 11 was the previous best wrestling match I've ever seen in my life. Every time these two clash, they put out the best wrestling match in the world.
I honestly can't say anything bad about this match at all, to be honest.
Yes.
I mean, I've said that about all these matches, really, but this one really takes the cake. I'm not very invested in overly long matches that last longer than 30 minutes or 40.
Now, the problem typically with long matches is that they are not paced well. You are used to see that happening in WWE.
Yeah.
But this was a masterclass in pacing, in rhythm, in dramatic storytelling.
I really liked close to the end where basically both men looked right at their limit. They're both exhausted. Like,
Yes,
yeah,
it was
like,
great. They cannot do anything. They cannot do their moves. Okada even tries to do his Rainmaker, but he's so weakened that his clothesline hits, but it has no effect. That's outstanding. That's Goku and Piccolo at the end of the tournament. It's so good. It's a real-life anime happening in front of my eyes.
it is amazing in that regard when those moments come.
By the way, the second pinfall goes to Omega. He uses his one-winged angel to pin Okada. And at this point, I was fretting that Okada would win this match, because he hasn't used his finisher to pin Kenny Omega yet.
Yeah.
So imagine my surprise and my absolute delight when Omega picks up the victory and becomes the new IWGP Heavyweight Champion. Yes!
After 1 hour and 4 minutes and 50 seconds.
Oh, Jesus.
It's like an epic confrontation where the good guy comes out on top.
They were both the good guys, technically.
Yeah, but still.
This was great. If Okada had won this match, he might as well have relinquished the title or retired with it, because he was not going to top it anytime soon. The perfect way, the absolutely flawless, perfect way to cap off one of, if not the best title reign in wrestling history. 2 whole years, 12 heart-pounding title defenses, several of which were Dave Meltzer's breaking matches. The best of the best, fighting for the best title, in the best promotion, in the best example of wrestling.
And the celebration afterwards, it's such a great finale to the entire thing, yeah, which should also be included into this match, really, because the fact that the Young Bucks came out to see...
By the way, we didn't mention this, but both Omega and Okada came down the ring with their respective companions. Okada was with his manager, Gato, which, by the way, is also the head booker of the promotion.
Ah.
And, of course, Omega came down with Ibushi.
With his golden lover boy.
Yes, his
Ibushi.
golden lover boy.
So they're down there together, and the Young Bucks came out. Omega looks at the Young Bucks like old friends he's not seen for ages. Then the ref comes up with this title belt, and then Omega looks at the belt. He pushes the belt aside to hug the Young Bucks.
That was the best, one of the best moments in wrestling, honestly. He prioritized his friends and his relationship with other human beings over the championship belt, which is something that I am not used to seeing in wrestling, I have to be honest.
Yeah, me neither. It feels so, well, nice.
Well put together. So they hug it out and Ibushi joins into the hug, and it's the sweetest, too sweet hug in professional wrestling. Oh, and then Cody comes down the ramp. Boo!
Yeah.
Boo!
He comes halfway down the ramp.
Okay, honestly, when the announcers say that he is the most hated man in wrestling, they might not be exaggerating after all. Because you've heard this crowd before. They like everyone. They even like Taichi. But they absolutely revile Cody.
Probably because of the fact that he hasn't got a second name.
Let's go with that. So he comes down, he stops Alpha Way through the ramp, he looks at the ring, and then he goes back. Which can either be read in 2 ways. Either he rethinks his strategy because he's outnumbered, or he decides to give him his moment of glory. Out of begrudging respect, either way he is biding his time, because he's next in line for a title defense, as I mentioned before. And then Omega proceeds to cut a promo, both in fluent Japanese and in English.
There's going to be a new era now that he's champion. That's
So
the
after-
summary of it, anyway.
Yes, so they celebrate a bit more, they go to the back, and then there is a press conference, an interview, in which he speaks English, and then a translator translates back in Japanese for the benefit of the Japanese audience watching at home. So there is a sense with Omega as the new champion, and with so many gaijins holding the belts at the time, that the company has finally a direction towards embracing a worldwide popularity. They pulled the trigger on a new era led by popular gaijins, other than just homegrown talent. And this is emphasized by having the champion being bilingual, essentially.
Yeah.
This feels like the most important result in sports history, because it has been presented like that, because it has been given so much importance, because the storytelling was top-notch and the payoff was the most satisfying it could have possibly been. Considering, again, this is a story 2 years in the making. And yes, they could have pulled the trigger earlier as Wrestle Kingdom 11, but honestly, it would not have meant as much as it did doing so right here, right now, in this fateful night in the Osaka-jo Hall for Dominion 2018. Possibly a once-in-a-lifetime show, one of the best wrestling shows in history. And I dare you to say otherwise.
Well, I wouldn't personally, because this wrestling promotion has shown me that basically you don't have to be formulaic. You don't have to, go for the same thing every time when it comes to storytelling. And if anything, this is a wrestling promotion that knows how to put on a fun show without any of the obvious transparent bullcrud that's going on in the background. I feel this is basically, something that the wrestling business actually needs right now.
This is the best time to be a wrestling fan, simply because it is so easy, much more easy to find out about different promotions than the one on top.
Yeah.
Especially if you are absolutely tired of their idiocy and you want something good again. It's easy to find about NJPW or Ring of Honor or Progress or Lucha Underground. There is so much choice. It's just a click of the mouse away from you. And I encourage you to check out New Japan, because New Japan makes wrestling a legitimate art form again. If WWE makes you forget why you liked wrestling to begin with, New Japan not only makes you remember why you enjoy wrestling to begin with, it also reinforces your love and passion for the sport and the art form. Or in other words, the last final shot of the stream, single frame of a solitary Okada Bill alone on the top of the ramp as the crowd in the background live. It's the end of an era. Symbolic imagery of the finest wine.
Yeah.
A perfect way to cap off a close to perfection pay-per-view. It is now time for best match, worst match, best guy, worst guy. We have our work cut out for us, don't we?
Yes, extremely. Oh, gosh.
Best match?
Is there
I mean, you have to go with the main event.
You have to give respect to the people in the main event, really, because they went on for so long, and yet they made it look so good.
I don't think there is any question. As good as this night was, and as good as the wrestling was overall, the main event is just on a league of its own. There is no defeating that. There is no going around that. It was glorious and masterful. It's the best match, for me at least.
It's definitely the best match for me as well, just because of how much is at stake, what it symbolizes, and the repercussions from this win also.
Yes. So, what about worst match then? That's going to be difficult.
Well, worst match? May I should go with the opening match, just because, you know, it's the opener, and plus Sho and Yo didn't go at their full potential, as you said.
I'm going to go with that choice as well. It's a really lame and easy choice, but what do you want from me? We've been doing this for more than 3 hours.
And it's so hard to pick, guys.
And yeah, you don't understand the true difficulty of doing a wrestling podcast. Worst guy and best guy.
Worst guy, best guy. Is there such thing as a worst guy in this?
Good point! You know, I was about to give the worst guy spot to the live camera crew for those mistakes that they have made, including panning out for a Okada posing, which prevented me from enjoying Omega's full Nelson suplex to him because the camera was completely panned out.
Yeah,
because that's what they always do when Okada does his posing. But you know what? That final shot of the lonely Okada Bill redeemed them completely. It was so good and so powerful.
Yeah.
So they cannot be the worst guy, but who am I going to choose otherwise? Okay, so I'm going to go with Taichi. He has the style, but not the substance.
Yeah.
And in this case, the substance was needed.
Okay, I'll go with Taichi as well now that you've said that, because I had no one else.
All that's left is best guy then.
Oh gosh, best guy now. Oh, so many good guys like Zack Sabre Jr.
I could realistically say everyone tonight was the best guy. Except Taichi, because we appointed him worst guy.
Yeah.
But we have to choose.
I know, but I'm just saying. I don't know, I'm gonna say Chris Jericho just because he's a madman.
Really?
He's just so vicious and so ridiculous.
Okay, it's a legitimate choice.
This is the most unhinged I've seen Jericho.
It is good to see Jericho in this form, I have to say. Completely free from the shackles, the PG shackles of WWE.
Even though he didn't swear, but still.
Oh, no, he swore quite a lot.
Oh, right. I must have forgot that part.
Okay.
Who's your best guy then?
It's a tie between Kenny Omega and Katsuchiki Okada. I honestly would not have the heart to choose one guy over the other. They were both on form, in-ring, wrestling perfection. Sure, I could have gone with Kenny Omega, it's the easiest choice. But I'm going to go with both instead. Why? Because I can.
Yeah.
And mind you, my boy Hiromu Takahashi was in this card.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I thought you were gonna choose Hiromu Takahashi with how you were talking.
Well, he was already the best guy in the Super J Cup.
Yeah.
In another match that broke Dave Meltzer, by the way.
Yeah.
There are so many bouts in New Japan that break Dave Meltzer on a regular basis.
Stars for everyone!
So this was our show. Thank you for listening to us, everybody. So the next time NJPW returns, it's in the G1 Climax Special in San Francisco. And you know what the main event is? Kenny Omega defends the IWGP Heavyweight Championship versus Cody. Just Cody.
Oh no! Here comes Cody!
There, instantly improved.
Let's just get going, because I really need to sleep now.
Yes, it's quite late in the night. Actually, I should say in the morning. This has been Everything is Madhog.
And I have been Devar Akvaran, the muse of everyone. Stars for everyone. This is my gimmick. I'll give stars to the audience.
It's better than spat bottle water, let me tell you. Right then, I shall leave you all with these words of wisdom. Dear WWE, eat shit, motherfucker!